today's practice, we're going to be kneeling. So if you have any kind of knee issues where kneeling on the ground is uncomfortable, go ahead and place a bolster or a yoga blanket, Mexican blanket, right underneath your knees. And we're going to start on our hands and knees and all fours. Open your knees about hip distance apart, untuck your toes. Then as we inhale, stretching your chest forward. Then as we exhale, tailbone tucks and we round our backs. Inhale, drop your belly and let your lower back arch. And then scoop your belly to round your lower back. We're rolling up and down our spines. And we start that first down at the tailbone, belly draws in, rounding and letting our head drop. Then as we inhale, our tailbones reach back as our chests reach forward. Hands underneath our shoulders, fingertips are rotating out just slightly, and it's really just the feeling that your fingertips are rotating out, like you're screwing your hands into the ground. Once more, come into your cat stretch and stay. Deep breaths into our backs. Inhale, tailbone reaches back, chest reaches forward. And now as we exhale, sitting our hips back as we stretch our arms forward into child's. Inhale, rolling up through our spines. Chest reaching forward, tailbone reaching back. Tuck your toes. Then as we exhale, sitting our hips back as far as we can, getting a little bit of a foot stretch. Inhale, rolling up and out. Exhale, hips reach back as your fingertips slide forward. Keep following your breath. And let your movement match your breath as much as possible. And once more, belly to spine, rolling up, chest reaching out, and then hips reaching back. Fingertips slide forward, and then we gently press our palms into the ground, activating the big muscles of our backs. Let your head drop right down towards the ground. Let's roll up through our spines, slide our hands back under our shoulders, and then untucking our toes. Slide those shoulders down your backs, elbows rotate in. You can take it to a cat bow. As we inhale, lowering our chest, bending our elbows, and then exhale, pressing back up. So our elbows are aimed back towards our feet. And we're drawing the shoulders down away from our ears and feeling the effort in the back of our arms. Let's do 2 more. Deep breath in. Now as we exhale, sit your hips back and stretch your arms forward, releasing into child's. Now as we inhale, let's roll through the spine and come into our bent knee plank position. shoulders sliding down our backs. Deep breath in. And as we exhale, we're going to lower all the way down to our bellies. Inhale, lifting the chest up just slightly, low cobra. And then lifting up and back into child's. Inhale, rolling through the spine from child's out into plank. Belly stays drawn in as we lower down. Slide your chest forward, shoulders pull down our backs. And then belly draws in to help us lift the hips. As we roll from child's into plank, the back of our neck is leading. We unroll, lengthening the spine. And then belly draws in strong to support us. Opening our chest. And then reaching back. Once more. Inhale, rolling up through the spine. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, chest reaching out. And exhaling back into child's. Walk your hands over to the left side of your mat and gently press that right hand deep into the ground as you draw your right hip back towards your feet. Feeling the stretch going down the back of our right side. Let's walk our hands over to the other side. Spreading our fingertips out and then feeling the stretch go down the back of our left side. Walking our hands back towards the middle. And then just sliding our hands in, and we'll come up to a kneeling position. And we'll take that right foot and step it forward. Hands can come down to the ground to give us a little bit of support as we swing that leg around. And then just walk your hands up to your leg. So we're in our split stance. The back foot gently pressing down into the ground. Low belly pulling up. Tailbone reaching towards the ground. Deep breath in. And then as we exhale, just shifting our hips forward. Finding that stretch going down our hip into our thigh. Inhale, shifting back. Exhale, shifting forward. So by doing this motion back and forth, we're gently opening up that muscle. Let's engage the back of that leg. So a little bit of energy through your glute. And gently press down through that back foot, just to give you some support. Exhale, let's shift our hips forward and stay. We'll take that left arm and reach it towards the ground. Then on the inhale, sweeping that left arm up. Exhale and sweep it back. Once more, let's reach that arm up. And now gently turn your chest towards that right leg, and the right hand can stay on the thigh or reach down towards the ground. Gently drop your chin, finding length in the back of your neck. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, unwind. Let your hands come down to the inside of your foot. Sweep that right leg back. Open the hands back out underneath your shoulders and open the legs. We're going to tuck our toes and lift our hips. Downward facing dog. Walk your feet out wide to the outside edge of your mat and walk your hands and feet closer in towards each other to make this a little bit easier. And then on that inhale, let's lift our heels up. And as we exhale, lower our heels down. Once more, lift and lower. And release those heels down. Take a few nice deep breaths. And let's release our knees back down onto our blanket. And we'll step that left leg forward and come up to kneeling. Draw our tailbones down towards the ground. Lower belly is zipping up. Hands rest on our thigh. Hips are facing straight forward, right towards the top edge of our mat. Deep breath in. And as we exhale, let's shift our hips forward. Inhaling, shifting back. Exhaling and shifting forward. Take your time and start paying attention to your breath. Making sure that you're exhaling and letting go of that breath. Let's come forward into our lunge and stay. Now taking that right hand, sweeping it up towards the sky, lifting our chest, and then exhaling and sweeping that arm back. Gently pressing the top of the back foot into the ground to help lift off of that knee a little bit. Once more, let's reach up. And now turning our chest towards that leg, left hand can stay on our thigh or reach down towards the ground. Gently nodding our chin down towards the shoulder. And use that right arm to help you lift up out of your leg to deepen the stretch down into your hip. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, let's bring our hands back down. And we'll step that left leg back. Hands come back in under our shoulders. We'll tuck our toes and lift our hips, downward facing dog. Walking our feet out wide. And again, let's lift our heels up, come up onto our tippy toes, and then exhale, heels reaching down. Let your head drop right between your arms. Legs can be as far apart as you need, and hands and feet can be as close together as you need. And now let's release our knees back down onto our blanket. Untuck our toes and sit our hips back into child's. So today we're going to use our yoga blanket to help give us a little bit of support for our knees and for our hips. I'm going to open it up so that it's folded a few times, but I have a little more space for it to go under more body parts. I'm going to place that blanket right about the center of my mat. And then I'm going to bring my knees right onto that bottom edge of the mat to give my knees a little bit of support. Starting with my hands underneath my shoulders. Fingertips are spreading out. And then there's the feeling of our hands reaching down into the ground. And then the fingertips rotating outward like you're screwing your hands into the ground. That should help slide the shoulders down your back and activate those big muscles of the back. Belly draws in. We're going to take a breath in. Then on our exhale, stretching that right arm forward. Inhale, lower down. Exhale, stretch the left arm forward. Inhale and lower. Just start following your breath. We're looking straight down at the mat. Right about that spot that's level with our fingertips. Gently tucking our chin so that we're lengthening the back of our necks. Once more. Deep breath in. Then as we exhale, sitting our hips back and our arms stretch forward into child's. Just take a couple breaths. And let's rise back up to all fours, sliding our hands back under our shoulders. And then now coming into our legs. Breath in. On our exhale, right leg stretches back, spinal balance. Inhale and lower. Left leg reaching back. Inhale, lower. My abdominals are drawing in. So that's the feeling of the belly button pulling in towards the spine. The other way to make that happen is on an exhale. As we exhale, those muscles gently draw in. So as we're lifting that leg, exhaling to help activate the abdominal wall. Once more. And then let's sit our hips back, arms stretch forward into child's. Rising back up to all fours. And we'll bring those two parts together into spinal balance. Breath in to prepare. Exhaling, right arm and left leg stretch out. Inhale, fingertips and toes touch the ground. And then exhale, left arm, right leg. Inhale and lower. Fingertips and toes are stretching away from each other. Doing our best to keep our hips facing straight down towards the ground. Now right arm, left leg, reach out and hold. Feel a little bit of effort in the back of that left leg. And imagine someone's holding your hand and someone else is holding your foot and stretching in opposite directions. Hand and knee release to the ground. Take a nice big breath in and out. And then let's stretch the left arm and right leg out. And stay in spinal balance. Even though we're holding the stretch, holding the pose, it's never static. our breath is always flowing through us. So there's that element that when we inhale, we're stretching, and as we exhale, we're anchoring through our bellies. One more breath in. Exhale, hand and knee to the ground. And let's sit our hips back. Stretch our arms forward into child's. And now as we inhale, let's roll up through the spine. Chest reaches forward, tailbone tips up. Then as we exhale, hips reach back. And we release back into child's. Inhale, rolling through cat into cow. And exhale, shifting back. Once more, rolling up. And then shifting our hips back. Take a nice big breath in and out. Inhaling, coming back up to all fours. And once again into spinal balance. Right arm and left leg stretching out. Keeping our arm and leg straight as we inhale, lowering our fingertips and toes, tapping the ground. Exhale and lift. Let's do about 4 more. This just helps fix our posture a little bit. So keep drawing those abdominals in to keep your spine and your hips still. Once more. Release your hand and knee to the ground. Take a nice big breath in and out. Left arm and right leg stretch out, spinal balance. Inhaling, fingertips and toes tap the ground, arm and leg staying straight. Exhale and lift. Using the glutes to lift that right leg up. Hand and knee back to the ground, and then shift your hips back into child, stretching your arms forward. Now let's inhale, rolling up through the spine from cat into cow. And now we'll tuck our toes and lift our hips into downward facing dog. As we inhale, releasing our knees back down to the ground. Untuck your toes as you shift your hips back into child's. Inhale and roll up. Exhale, tailbone lifts to the sky, chest reaches towards the earth. Inhale, release the knees back down to the ground, and then shifting our hips back. Let's do that a few more times. As we come up from child's, leading with the back of the neck, then uncurl and lengthen the spine out. Belly draws up and in to lift our hips. Inhale, knees to the ground. Exhale, releasing back. 2 more times. Exhale, hips to the sky. Inhale, knees to the ground. And exhale into child's. Last round. Take a few breaths in child's. come back up to all fours. Slide those hands under our shoulders. Then we're going to step that left foot forward to the outside of the front leg. Walk your foot a little bit further out. Deep breath in. Then as we exhale, we're going to shift our hips forward. So we're finding a stretch through that right leg and into your left inner thigh. Inhale, shifting your hips back. Exhale, shifting forward. Once more. Let your arm be to the inside of your leg. Pull the shoulders down your back and stretch your chest forward. And just letting that left knee open out just a bit towards the side. Gently press down through the back foot to deepen the stretch in the hip. Then we'll step that left leg back. Shift our hips back into child. Stretch the arms forward. Take a big breath in and out. And let's do a couple rounds of our flow. So we'll roll up through the spine to all fours. Tuck our toes and lift our hips, downward facing dog. Inhaling, knees to the ground. And exhaling, child's. Let's do 2 more rounds. Again, take a nice big breath in child's. And deep, full exhalation. Letting all that breath go. We'll come back up to all fours and bring the right foot to the outside of the right hand and wiggle that foot forward a little bit. Nice big breath in. Then as we exhale, shifting our hips forward. Just the point we have a stretch in that right inner thigh and left hip. Inhale, shifting back. Exhale, shifting forward. Let's do that once more. Shift the hips forward and stay. Let the shoulders slide down. Just reaching out. Back foot gently pressing down into the ground. Now we'll sweep that leg back, release back into child's.